Welcome, everybody, to Charlotte Motor Speedway. My name's Josh Hall, and you're here on iRacing with Intensity Broadcasting, bringing you the iOS Truck Series here, their first race of the playoffs. Take a quick look at our playoff standings right now. And you'll see Isaiah Gill, Colin Williams, Brian Nudi, Devin Buccino are going to be your top four. And they're at the moment the front runners for the playoffs. And Logan Hagerman, Dustin Dean, Eddie Morris, Colton Kinsey on that bubble spot. TJ Floyd, Brian Merle Jr., Greg Froelich, and Joseph Wright, if they were to end the playoff this round right now, they would be out. So this being the first round of the playoffs, everything's kind of pretty much evened up. Only 12 points separate. As we're going to take a look, see how everybody is running out on track right now. Take a look at our tower here, and Stony Benfield currently your top position. Joseph Wright, David Wright, Dylan Redding, and Alan Warnecki out there. So we got about 4 minutes left here in practice, and well, if this is anything like last night we saw a couple quick cautions early, but as the race went on, we had green flag stops, long green flag run, and green flag finish. Absolutely dominated last night, and a couple drivers having some issues. So hopefully we'll see tonight another great race here in the iOS Truck Series. So we have the Intensity Broadcasting. There's Joe Wright in the Intensity Broadcasting colors. And you should see these guys who are in the playoffs. They're going to be designated by the green playoff logos on the banners. So you see Brian Nudi here, as well as Greg Froelich with those banners. Well, anybody who's got one of those banners out there is going to be in the playoffs. Take a look at Colin Williams right here. Colin had a very rough night last night, and hopefully he's looking to rebound here. I'm sure his squad is watching. The bot squad is out there getting ready to cheer him on. Again, if you're watching, whether you're on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch, make sure to drop a like, subscribe or favorite if you haven't already, and make a comment. Let us know who you're cheering for tonight. Let us know who your driver is. We like the fan interaction, as Corlear Mather already says. Let's go, Colin. The bot squad has already entered the building. So tonight we're going to have 71 laps here at Charlotte. We're going to take a quick peek at our playoff schedule for the rest of the playoffs here. So it's going to start here at Charlotte, 97 laps tonight. And then we're going to move on to Auto Club next week, and then our bottom four will be eliminated. Then we'll have Texas and the Roval road course here at Charlotte. They're going to cut down to the top four, and those four will race it out at Vegas for the championship. As you see in our little ticker there, about a minute 25 seconds left before the qualifying begins. Nick Mather just says, let's go, Colin.
Matt Knight's up into the second spot now in that 38 machine. He's having a really good run out there in this practice. I know it's only practice, but if you can find some speed in practice, usually you can carry that over to the race, which is an important thing to do, especially you got a couple drivers here trying to play spoiler tonight. Stony Benfield, Matt Knights, Dave Wright. These guys sitting here outside the playoff bubble here, so these guys can get some points and play spoiler, take away a win, take away that automatic berth into the next round. Again, I'm alone tonight. Unfortunately, Atman had some stuff he had to do, so hopefully there'll be less talk about food on the broadcast tonight, although I'm still looking forward to coming up to the great north up there, up to Canada, get some poutine from the bot squad, which I do look forward to if they'll take up that offer. But practice is now over. Checker flag is out in practice. And we're going to get ready to go over to qualifying. Nick says, welcome anytime. I'll take you up on that. Let's see who's going to be out first on track. It looks like Colton Kinsey in the 4 machine. Now, Colton, even though he doesn't have that green banner, I know a couple people had some issues getting those on. Colton is in the playoffs right now. He's able to win a race and get himself into the show. Also, Logan Hagerman out there as well. And apologize, my timing and scoring is giving me a little bit of an issue. So, 1 second while I get that fixed up. And we are back. Do apologize for that little bit of a technical glitch, but it looks like we got this figured out now. We see Logan Hagerman out on track right now. Colin lost a bot. Oh no. Where is Colin out on track right now? He's just coming off turn number 2. And currently on pole at the moment, Stoney Benfield running a 30.51. Devin Buccino had a great run last night. Following up tonight, then Dustin Dean in the 3rd spot. Matt Knight's currently in 4th and Brett Merle in 5th, so we'll have to see how these guys navigate this second lap. As we see Stoney Benfield just finishing up. He's on your provisional pole at the moment. It's Devin Buccino out here. Kevin Brando says, yay, Colin. And as I say, if you're watching on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube, you're watching on Facebook, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, drop a comment. Let us know who you're rooting for tonight. Matt Knight's up into the 5th spot. Having a great run here. Michael Lawrence, if you didn't join the broadcast last night, Michael is Cheeseburger is driving injured. He drives dirt carts and ended up flipping over a couple times the other night and spent the night in the ER. But fortunately, feeling good enough to come out here and drive tonight. He was here last night, had a good run. Hopefully he's going to have another good run. You know, you always feel best when you're running in the car and you're running good. So we'll have to see if being in the car is the best medicine for him tonight. So we see Sylvan Seguin currently driving the iOS and CASCAR Racing Series. Also on track right now, Blake Hensley. Blake, unfortunately, missing the playoffs here in the Truck Series. Did make the playoffs in the Cup Series, though, and able to have a good run here tonight. Maybe he can follow that up. Last night, we saw Dakota Camper win after getting caught up in a lap 2 incident. driving back through the field to win the race. So it really shows that anything can happen at any time. Abby Anna Dixon says, "Let's go, Colin." Nick Mather says, "Bot Squad isn't a choice; it's a way of life. Once a bot, always a bot." Bot Squad for life hashtag. Hashtag Bot Squad for life. I love it, guys. I love it. Love the enthusiasm. Gives me something to talk about during the race here as you see Joe Wright making his first couple of laps here. And again, Joe is in the playoffs. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get that banner up on the windshield. He's going to have to fire his painter for that. Oh, catches the wall just a little bit off of turn number 2. He's currently sitting in the 6th spot. I think he caught the wall enough to disallow his time here. Yep, it definitely caught the wall there, so he will not be able to get another time in. Brian Nudie, though, third in points right now. Coming through turns 3 and 4 right now. Colin Willem says, "Let's go, Colin." Nudie sucks. Cassie Willem also says, "Let's go, Colin." Colin's joining in on the fun now. I love it. It's TJ Floyd out on track now. TJ's also in the playoffs now. Didn't get a win, but he's currently sitting 9th in points. So he's one of the drivers on the bubble right now. So a couple quick things about the race tonight. Again, tonight is going to be 97 laps. Your stage end will be lap 25. And if you guys have never seen an iOS race, if this is your first time joining us here, either on Facebook, YouTube, on Twitch, or if you're watching on the big screen on eRacing TV on your Fire Stick or Roku, we appreciate you joining in tonight. And yeah, these guys do have a stage break. They don't actually stop the race during the stage break. They just take the points for whatever lap they finish. So at the end of lap 25, your top 10 will get 10 to 1 points in order of finish. And then the winner of the stage will get that all important playoff point, which carries through the playoffs if they continue. It looks like everybody's pretty much made their laps. Looks like we got a couple stragglers out there right now. Derek Chaput out on track right now in the Barney car. Looks like he's going to finish up in the 21st position now. Greg Froelich, the legend, out there. Currently sitting in the 16th place. Let's see if he can improve his time this time by. And he comes through the quad oval here. Across the stripe. And it looks like he's going to stay in the 16th position. The Isaiah Gill out on track right now, making his first lap attempt. Comes across the line. Oh, I take it back. He's just coming across the line and take the green flag. So this is his first timed lap right here. Nick Mather says EOL for Nudie, texting and driving. Colin was driving or texting and driving too, if that's the case, because he's in here as well. So you might have just shot your boy in the foot there. As Isaiah comes across the line up into the 14th position. Michael White in the 09 just moved up to the 4th position. Let's see how Nudie does here on his second lap. A couple drivers in there have not made qualifying attempts yet. I see Dylan Redding, Eddie Morris, and Alan Wernicke have not made a qualifying attempt yet. I don't think they're going to have time to. His time is slowly running out. Nudie's going to, or I say Gill, excuse me, is going to move up to the 3rd spot here, bumping Colin Willems back to 4th. Well, the only car on track right now is Michael White, who just finished his lap. He's going to finish up in 5th. I do believe, oh, looks like Eddie Morris is out on track right now. Oh, Eddie's having a little internet problem. He's starting to flash a little bit, so I'm sure it was, Nick says, I'm sure it was Cassie texting. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So it looks like with about 30 seconds left, we're going to be swap it over to the race in just a moment. Again, thank you very much for joining us tonight on Intensity Broadcasting. Again, this is the iOS Truck Series here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. First race of the playoffs. And if it's anything like we saw last night in the iOS Truck Series, iOS Cup Series, you guys are in for a treat. It looks like Stony Benfield is going to keep that pole position. As time runs out in qualifying, the checker flag is out. And we'll move over to our grid. So again, starting on pole tonight, Stony Benfield in the 75 machine. Outside of him, you're going to have Devin Buccino in the 68. Isaiah Gill in the 2s roll off third with Colin Willems rounding out row 2. Michael White and Dustin Dean are going to round out row number 3. Matt Knight's in the 38. Roll off 7th with Joseph Wright in the 8th spot outside of him. Then TJ Floyd, Brian Nudie, round out your top 10. Brett Merle and David Wright will make up row number 6 with Billy Hensley and Brandon White. Making up row 7. Brian Merle Jr., Junior Nation in the 74. He'll roll off 15th with Colton Kinsey in the 16th spot in the 4 machine. A little further back, we'll have Mike Rentz Jr. in the 91. And outside of him will be Greg Froelich in the 71. James Moore in the 61 with Michael Lawrence rounding out your top 20. That's your 10th row. Michael Provault and Sylvain Seguin make up row 11. Derek Chaput in the 23rd spot, along with Logan Hagerman back here in the 7 machine, rounding out the 24th spot. And then Alan Warnecki, he'll be starting 25. Dylan Redding, Noah Walter, and Eddie Morse will be the rest of the field. I believe Noah is our race control tonight, so he will actually not be out on the track. And I don't see Dylan gridding up as well either, so I believe those 2 trucks are just doing race control tonight. Little race info here for you. Charlotte Motor Speedway, 1.45 miles. Track temperature right now is 83 degrees. The air is 81 degrees, so not a hot track, not the coolest of tracks, but 56% humidity. It's going to make this track a little bit slicker having that moisture in the air. As pace car starts rolling, the field is moving, and we're getting ready to take our one pace lap here and get this thing underway. So first start will be on the green flag, and then after that, every start after that will be on the control truck. So whether that is whether the leader decides to take the inside line or the outside line, as soon as the pace car pulls off and is below that line, on restarts they can go, but when it's the very first start of the race, they do have to go on the green flag. Again, these guys do have 2 extra sets of tires in the pits tonight. So tire management is going to be a big thing. As usually right around lap 30, 35 in a run, your tires are gone. You're crying for tires. So we'll have to see who can manage their tires the best if we have a long green flag run, like we saw last night in the Cup Series. As the pace car takes that hard left-hand turn on pit lane, I come up to the starting box, green flag in the air. And Devin Buccino gets a great jump on Stony Benfield here as they head for turn number 1, side by side for second place. Colin Willems on that high lane trying to get around Stony Benfield, and Willems has a little connection issue, but it looks like he's straightened that out as he's going to clear Benfield on that high side. That high side seemed to be really dominant last night in the Cup Series. We'll have to see if that high side plays a factor here tonight, as they're already side by side here for second place. Oh, Stony Benfield pushes up the track a little bit, almost gets into the side. of Dustin Dean, but they're able to keep it going as we complete lap one. Devin Pacino is going to be your lap one leader. Oh! Caution is out, and Benfield goes for a wild ride. I'm not really sure what happened. We were focusing on that to see exactly what happened here. If that was a little bit of net code or if there was, or what just happened there. We take a look here from our chopper. It looks like Joe Wright and Stoney Benfield just coming off the corner and a little contact there. Chino wasn't clear and came up, unfortunately, in the Joe, and Chino got that weird wall glitch that sends the car flying through the air. A couple more involved as well as we see Joe Wright going for a wild ride. Brian Nudie, Matt Knights. Man, a lot of good cars tore up in this. The big one strikes here at Charlotte. Let's rewind a little bit and see full speed here. As we know that Joe and Benfield got together here. You see Joe get tagged from behind for lifting right there. Then he takes a wild ride. And man, a lot of good trucks tore up early. 5 of David Wright involved as well. I think the entire Intensity squad was caught up in that one right there. Tough break for those guys. But we did see last night Dakota Camper have a similar situation where he got into an accident on the first or second lap. Ended up coming back to win the race. So these guys do have their one reset where they can get a free car back in the pits. And yeah, we'll have to see if anybody had some minor damage, if they're just going to fix to save that reset for another time. But tough go out it already. TJ Floyd, Mike Red, Stoney Benfield, Michael White, Matt Knights, Joseph Wright, Brian Nudie, Brett Merle, Dave Wright, all caught up in that one. So that is all the cars involved in that. So it looks like we're going to be going back green very soon. No cars on the lap down, so we'll be able to get going pretty soon. Nick Mather says won't be long for the 18 to get back up there as lights are still on the pace car. Looks like we're going to go 2 more laps around before we can get going. Eddie Morris hits pit road. I think he's just going to get some fuel here, or he might be having some connection issues. I know last night he had some internet issues, and I think tonight he might be having the same, unfortunately for him. See Mike Rentz Jr. back out on track. He's still got some damage on the back of that car, so I believe he just went in and got fixed up the best he could. He's saving that reset for later on. We see Joe Wright. Joe Wright unfortunately had to tow being up on his roof like that. You see TJ Floyd come in right behind Joe here. I think he's just going to top off on fuel. We don't see any tires going up in the air, so I think he's just going to top off the fuel here. Try and make it a little bit longer of a run. We saw that strategy work out pretty well last night. You see all the cars on pit road right now. Currently the field just coming off turn number 3 right now, or coming through turn number 3. Another truck with that Pelican Snowball on the back. Sorry, Atlee's not here to give you the rundown on Pelican Snowball, so. And me being up in the Northeast, I've never had a Pelican Snowball before. I do know they have about 150 flavors. Italian ice. That's about all I can tell you. But the lights on the pace car are off. And our leader, Devin Buccino, chooses the high side for the restart. As I mentioned, that high side really had the advantage last night through the iOS Cup race. So I'm sure we're going to see that again tonight. As at high side, you don't turn the wheel as much. You're not going to burn as much tires off. So you're able to save your tires a little bit more, carry that momentum off the corner on the high side, where when you're down on the bottom, you're pinching the truck down. And that's going to cause you to heat up those tires and burn them off faster, which is going to cause your car to slow down during the run. Thomas Reed just said, "Go, Colin." Looks like the bot squad is out in full effect tonight. How about Blake Hensley back in the 6th spot, making some moves up already. Brandon White in the 09. And Logan Hagerman up 15 spots into the 9th position. Derek Chaput up 13. James Moore 12. So we've already had some big movers due to that wreck that just happened. But fortunately, we should be able to see these guys have a much better run here as the pace car pulls off here. Buccino is the control car. He can go when he wants. There he goes right now. Big jump on Colin Willems here as they come single file into turn number 1. Isaiah Gill up into the 3rd position. Isaiah having a good restart there for once. That's unusual for him, but good to see him back into good form here. That must be playoff form for Isaiah. And Dustin Dean right behind, trying to make his way through here. A little further back, it looks like Logan Hagerman stuck in the back bumper of James Moore, with Brian Merrill Jr. right in front. These 3 trucks you could throw a blanket over as Hagerman's trying to make that high side work. Hagerman, who's, as you can see from that green banner on above the windshield, another one of our playoff drivers. He's going to clear the 61 here and then work on Brian Merrill Jr. down to the bottom. Is he going to make it stick? And he does. Junior fighting back, though, hard on the outside. A couple playoff drivers trying to get those points. Again, the stage ends on lap 25, so the more points these guys can get, the better. A little further, we see Blake Hensley getting around Dustin Dean, take over that 4th spot. But Dustin Dean fighting back down on the bottom here, trying to get that low side working. It's just not going to happen, as he's going to have to tuck in back and behind. Up front, Colin Willems starting to make a little bit of a move here. Try to get his way up here to the back bumper of Devin Buccino. Try to get around him. A little battle back here between Cheeseburger, David Chaput, and the 61. The 61 truck looks like he's having some issues because he's just falling back right now. As you see Chaput now going around the high side of James Moore. A little further back, we've got a little battle back here between Brian Nudie. And I think he's trying to catch Michael White here, who's right in front of him. This is the battle for the lucky dog right now. So these guys are battling hard. If another yellow was to come out, who's going to be able to get that free pass back onto the lead lap? So that's why, even though they're a lap down, they're racing each other very hard back here. Chaput just gets around 47 Cheeseburger as well. That's now Provolt working the high side, trying to get around Merle Jr. Great battle right here. This is for 7th, 8th, and 9th right here, and 10th. We've got the 019, Brandon White sitting in 7th. And Michael Provolt just behind these guys, and Michael Lawrence in the 11th spot. So great battle. A bunch of cars, about 5 cars under a blanket here as they come into turns number 1 and 2, side by side. Chaput and Merle Jr. Great battle here. As Brian Nudie and Michael White are still battling back here for the lucky dog. You think these guys were battling for first place right now as hard as they run? Oh, Nudie just pushed up the track just a little bit. Fortunately, was able to keep off of Michael White there. Up front, though, it's still Devin Bacino. Keeping Colin Williams behind, but these two are starting to really pull away. As you can see, there's almost a 2-second gap from Colin Williams back to Isaiah Gill. So Isaiah under attack right now from Blake Hensley and Logan Hagerman also joining this party here. This is a battle for third, fourth, and fifth right here. Chad King says Bacino's driving that thing. Yes, he is. Kevin Brando says shake and bake, baby. Reliant. Hashtag Reliance. Thomas Reed says go Colin. So everybody's pulling for Colin right now, but I think Colin is kind of content right now. Just sitting back here. Trying to just put some laps down. You see the gap back to Isaiah Gill now. Climbed over 2 seconds. These guys are just kind of running some laps right now. Getting their some laps under their belt. Sure, once the stage end starts approaching, these guys are going to start turning it on and race a little bit harder. But it doesn't make sense right now not to burn your tires off. Just run your line. A little further back, we see another battle back here. As Brandon White getting around Brian Merle Jr., Michael Provolt getting around everybody now. Move Provolt up into the 8th spot. See TJ Floyd on the bottom down here getting lapped by this group. He's a lap down. We're gonna go. I thought we were gonna go 3 wide for a second with the lap car. And right now, from the 95, sitting in 9th place, all the way back to Colton Kinsey in the 4 here, sitting back in 12th. And James Moore, Greg Froning trying to come into the picture as well. It's the best race on track right now. Oh, it looks like Brandon White got up into the wall just a little bit. It's going to allow Kinsey to get a little bit of a run here, but Kinsey had to back off just a little bit. It wasn't any room. Can't really go 3 wide there, and it's tough enough to go 2 wide through the quad oval here. Going 3 wide definitely wouldn't work, as we saw last night as well. And here comes Kinsey running that middle line, so not quite on the bottom, not quite on the top. He's trying to make something else work here, and right now it looks like it's working for him, as he's moved up into the 9th spot. Now he's challenging Brandon White for that 8th spot. Running that first seam here. Looks like he might know something that nobody else knows. Up front, though, Colin Williams now starting to put a little bit more pressure on Devin Bacino. He's got that lead down to 0.18. So as we have about 5 laps before the stage end, we might see a little bit of a battle here between these two before it's all over. We ride along with Colin here. Let's see if he's having the lift or if he's still able to keep this thing wide open here. Well, he's going to have to lift here and let that car, let that car settle into the corner. It's that long, good run off the corner, and yeah, it looks like he's just relaxed in there. You can see the wheel movement, not a lot of wheel movement from him, which means that that truck is handling very well for him right now. Go on the board with Bacino here, we can see much of the same thing. Very little wheel movement into the corner. This is going to be your battle for the playoff, or for the stage win. Getting those all-important playoff points and the bonus points for the stage. As we know, 1 point can make a difference between moving on to the next round or getting eliminated. Looks like Colin's still having a little bit of a connection lag here and there, but looks like it's not too bad. Back behind Isaiah Gill and Blake Hensley. Hensley now got around Isaiah. It looks like these guys are starting to catch this group up here. Yeah, that lead between Willems and Isaiah Gill before was just over 2 seconds. Now Hensley's cut that down to 1.3. But I don't think he's going to be able to catch him here for the stage end. But when it comes to the stage points, Colin's going to have to do whatever he can to try to catch Pacino to get that stage win. As we're coming to the start of lap 25, this will be the last lap of the stage. Can Willems do anything to catch Buccino here to take that stage win? As they come through turns 3 and 4, Buccino's pretty much got the stage win locked up. Your stage winner is going to be Devin Buccino getting those 10 bonus points and that all-important playoff point. Colin Willems second, Blake Hensley, Isaiah Gill, Logan Hagerman, Dustin Dean, Derek Chaput, Colton Kinsey, Michael Lawrence, and James Moore will make up your top 10 for the stage points there. So Devin will get 10 bonus points, all the way down to James Moore, who will get 1. Cyree Reed says, go dump truck Isaiah Gill. Isaiah's having a great run so far, sitting back in the 4th spot. Looks like he's just kind of saving tires, managing, running that high line, not burning those tires off, and able to keep that thing going straight. As now Hensley has caught Colin Willems here. It looks like Colin's starting to fall off a little bit. Hensley looking to the inside here, and it looks like Hensley's got some great long run speed. Him and Isaiah Gill saving those tires, not burning them off. They're able to catch and pass Colin Willems for that 2nd place. Now can Hensley run down Devin Buccino here? A little further back, you see Derek Chaput. Almost did it again, guys. Yeah, oh! Dustin Dean into the wall. Caution is out. That's going to bring up our wreckage rewind. And I'm not really sure what happened right there. I don't know if Dustin was trying to throw a block or if there was just a little bit of contact made. Again, we'll pull this from the chopper because it's going to give us the best view of what happened here. As we see Chaput here. Looks like he's about to make a move to the inside. Looks like a little bit of, I'm going to call that net code. It looks like there was a little bit of invisible contact between Dustin Dean and Chaput. That's going to put Dustin hard into the inside wall as he comes sliding back across the track. Fortunately, everybody behind him doing a great job of seeing him and avoiding him. A tough break for that 21 machine. As we see Buccino, Blake Hensley, Colin Willems, Isaiah Gill, everybody hitting pit road now. And I'm sure we're going to see some tires here. Yep, as we see those trucks pop up, getting tires. Have to look for the race off pit road here. Pit stop time. Here we go. That's what we want to see. So Alan Wernicke staying out. Doing a little gambling here. Well, you see the pit stop times for everybody on pit road there and how they came off. So, Buccino coming out second, coming out pretty much the way they went in. Logan Hagerman with 11.5. I'm going to guess that Hagerman took 2 tires there. So that could be a difference for him as well. So Alan Warnecki's still staying out. You might know something that nobody else might know right now. It looks like I'm not really sure who got the lucky dog that time by. Looks like Michael White might be back on the lead lap. But a gutsy call here from Warnecki. And you'll see when we go back green flag racing just how much of a disadvantage having no tires out here compared to these other guys that have 4 fresh ones is going to be. And seeing if Hagerman only took 2 tires, how that's going to work out for him. So you see right now, Warnecki, Buccino, Hensley, Colin Willems, Logan Hagerman, Isaiah Gill, Michael Lawrence, Colton Kinsey, Brandon White, and James Moore round out your top 10. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night as we're going to have a double Dirt Thursdays. The Northeast Modified Dirt Track Series rolling off first, and then at 10 p.m. tomorrow night, we have the iOS Dirt Domination Series. See a couple drivers from this series in that race as well. We'll see Will Witt, who runs in the Cup Series for iOS. Brian Nudi's usually in there. Brandon White usually jumps in there, Merle Jr. So don't forget to check that out tomorrow night if you like dirt racing. We see Brett Merle on pit road right now. Looks like he's just topping off his fuel here. As the field rolls through turn 3 and 4, lights on the pace car are off. We're going to be going green this time by as we're re-racked and ready to go. Warnecki chooses that high side, as we've seen the leaders doing mostly tonight. Again, once that pace car pulls off on the pit lane, he can go whenever he wants as long as the pace car is below that line. The pace car hits that hard left-hand turn into pit lane. Green flag is out. Warnecki's a little bit of his tire spin there, but he's able to get out to a great jump on Buccino, but I don't think those tires are going to last very long for him, as I think he's just going to get eaten up here by Buccino and Colin Willems, which we're starting to see right now. Cody Moore says, go Colin on YouTube. A little bit of bump drafting in play. Colin now to the inside of Buccino. Trying to make that inside lane work here. Buccino on the high side, I think he's got a little bit of advantage. We see Isaiah Gill making a couple moves behind Warnecki. Unfortunately, falling like a rock with no tires. Isaiah Gill, Blake Hensley side by side off turn number 2. Hensley's going to take that position. They're going to fall back in line and see if they can run down the leaders. Or maybe they're going to save their tires like they did on that last run. But Warnecki, unfortunately for him, already getting gobbled up by the 47 of Cheeseburger. Brandon White coming into the picture. So staying out was definitely not the call for him, unless he's thinking there might be another late race caution where he'll have an extra set of tires that nobody else does. Logan Hagerman. Oh, little wreck. Couple cars sideways back here. Hagerman stays with it. Saw one car. I think it was Stoney Benfield caught up in that as well. No yellow. We stay green. Not too sure what happened there, but we stay green flag racing as Michael Lawrence, Cheeseburger, up into the 5th spot, putting some pressure on Isaiah Gill now. So he was looking to the high side here, trying to make something happen. And Warnecki now under fire some more as he's back to the 12th spot. Michael Rentz Jr. getting around Logan Hagerman here. Hagerman with that damage falling back into the 16th spot. You see a couple other cars back here having some issues. That 47 truck is looking good. I agree, Cody. As he's trying to get around Isaiah Gill here. Again, the leader is just starting to pull away a little bit. So we ride along here with Isaiah Gill, looking out the back bumper. Oh, here comes Brandon White to the high side. Not able to do anything, though. He's going to tuck back in line. He's going to fall back off there. He had a great run for a second, but fortunately he had to pull back out of it. We see Michael Lawrence getting such a good run into the corner. And, I was going to say Isaiah Gill having a great run off the corner. To see if they're able to set him up here for the pass. Here comes Lawrence down to the bottom side, throwing a little bit of a slide job. He's going to be able to make it stick here as they come through the quad oval. And Isaiah's going to take that position back. Looks like Warnecki has hit pit road for his scheduled stop, so it doesn't look like that strategy is really going to pay off for him, unfortunately. But it was a good try. You never know what could happen. If another caution came out, he could have gained a bunch of track position, but Isaiah Gill all over the back bumper of 31 of Blake Hensley, though. These guys have been battling back and forth all night long, and here comes the 47 again, trying to make something. So we got a little three-way battle here for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. While these guys are battling, it's allowed Colton Kinsey to start to join the party. He's having a great run here up in the 6th spot. And right behind him, Brandon White also starting to make something out. Oh, Cheeseburger really loose there off of turn number 4, almost catching the wall coming through the quad oval. Able to hang on to it, though. We see Colin Willems right there in front of this group as I think he's saving tires because Buccino has stretched out to a 1.5 second lead here. See the battle box there for a moment as we're trying to keep an eye out on our leader. Colin Williams, 2.5 back from the leader, but starting to pull away from Blake Hensley a little bit as Blake and Isaiah Gill still having that great battle back here. This would be for the 3rd and 4th position. And as I mentioned before, Brandon White now joined the party. Brandon on that high side, trying to get around Colton Kinsey here. He's got the run. They're side by side. Colton's going to have to either pull off here. Because he just pulled over and let Brandon White by because he's just so much faster. Smart move from the young man. Knowing, hey, you're faster than me, I'm not going to burn up my tires. Trying to let you get around me, just going to let you by. As Isaiah Gill is now battling side by side with Blake Hensley. Trying to take that third position away. But not going to happen as that high side is just too dominant tonight as the tires wear off. Here comes Michael Lawrence down to the bottom. Oh, almost slides up into the two of Isaiah Gill. He had to back out of it, and as he did that, he lost all his momentum and allowed Brandon White to close right up on his back bumper. Cheeseburger's going to lose that spot right there to Brandon White, who moves himself up into the 5th position. But another Michael Lawrence trying to come back. Back to the inside here. Best battle on track right now is these two going at it. Although I do see Dustin Dean and Derek Chaput going at it. Dustin Dean trying to drive his way back up through traffic here. Right in front of him, Joseph Wright getting around Brian Merle Jr. And Joe is currently trying to chase down Brian Nudie and Alan Warnecki, because those are the two cars, first couple cars that are a lap down. Actually, I take that back. Our yellow flag is out. I was gonna say our lucky dog is Logan Hagerman. Let's see exactly what brought out that yellow. It looks like, I have to take a look from the chopper here. 3 wide. Brian Merle Jr. on the outside. Dustin Dean on the inside. Chaput in the middle. Looks like some contact there between the 3 of them. It looks like Dustin just didn't know he was not clear. Chaput was kind of trying to hold his line the best he could, but they were 3 wide. And as I mentioned before, it's so hard to go through the quad oval 3 wide. Unfortunately for Dustin, he takes the bad ride through the infield through their AstroTurf. Tough break for him. Real tough night tonight. It's very similar to the night that Colin Williams had last night. Colin Williams, Blake Hensley, Isaiah Gill, Brandon White all jump on the pit road, leaving Devin Buccino out there. And it's a real split field right now as Colton Kinsey, James Moore, Derek Chaput, Sylvan Seguin all stay out. Take a look at our race off pit road here. Gill with a 7-0, Kinsey with a 7-6, so it looks like these are all fuel-only stops, no tires. Because they were just on pit road not too long ago, 4 tires. Imagine they're going to want to save that extra set in case we do have a late race restart. Sorry, I have the wrong screen up. Thank you for that, Cody. I apologize for having the wrong screen up. You were able to see the what brought out the caution, though, I do believe, correct? Cody says I got you, and I do appreciate that. Sometimes when you're in here running it by yourself, you miss those things. But fortunately, I've got a good fan base who's able to catch that and help me out here, so I do appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. There's a lot of things you could be doing on a Wednesday night. I'm just glad you joined us tonight for the race. As this is going to get interesting here as we're working lap 51. So we're just past halfway. And Devin Buccino, Colton Kinsey, James Moore, Derek Chaput, Sylvain Seguin all out there on older tires. Not much older tires, but they got about 25 laps, a little over 25 laps on those tires. Let's take a look at our pit strategy here. We'll see exactly how many laps are on those tires. So your front five have 21 laps on those tires. Everybody behind them, oh, they did come in for fuel, so they may still have the same lap tires. But if this thing goes green to the end, Buccino might have to come in and stop for fuel. Everybody else, though, won't have to. So that could make or break the race here. As it looks like Buccino's going to pick that high side again. And again, can somebody play spoiler tonight? These guys that are in the playoffs, they're gambling. Colton Kinsey, Devin Buccino, they're gambling to try to win the race to stay in the playoffs and automatically advance to the next round, so they don't have to worry about what happens at Auto Club next week. You got guys like Derek Chaput and James Moore. They're just out there trying to play spoiler and get a win. And then you've got guys like Brian Nudie, Joe Wright, who are in the playoffs and having a rough night. TJ Floyd as well, back there. So we'll have to see how the rest of the race plays out here. Anything can happen. As the pace car is getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Gino's going to lead him here to the restart zone. He's going to hit the gas. Green flag back in the air. Great jump for Buccino and Kinsey as you see Derek Chaput starting to fall back a little bit. James Moore's going to get around him. Chaput with a horrible restart. He's fallen all the way back to the 5th position. Side by side, James Moore, Colin Williams going at it here. Colin's got that high preferred line, though. He's going to be able to clear the 61 easily and set his sights on the 4 of Colton Kinsey. Cassie Williams says Williams for the win. Well, we'll have to see. Laps are winding down here. Can Williams catch Buccino? That's going to be the question. Or is somebody like Kinsey going to play spoiler and move himself into the next round of the playoffs automatically? A little further back, we have Michael Lawrence and Greg Froelich going at it, battling right here. This is for 7th and 8th right here as Cheeseburger is going to get that great launch off that high side and get around. Brandon White now trying to get the high side here on Froelich. Looks like Froenich's going to, nope, he's going to get the run off the corner here. Froenich's going to stay pinched down. A little further behind, we see Blake Hensley, Brian Merle Jr. now, and TJ Floyd. TJ is a lap down, so he's not for a position here, but he's trying to drive his way back up. And he's trying to catch Warnecki, which he's past Warnecki. But Warnecki right now, I believe, is your lucky dog. Back up front, Colin Williams getting stalked by Colton Kinsey. So put the tower up on the side here. You can see Warnecki is your lucky dog, 1 lap down. Brian Nudie a lap down as well, and they're battling back there for that lucky dog spot. Brandon White, Sylvan Seguin going at it for the 7th, 6th, and 7th spot here. Here comes Cheeseburger back to the bottom. You see Warnecki creeping in the picture again. He's your lucky dog. All he's doing is just trying to stay out of trouble. As he's going to take it, he's going to force it 3 wide here. Oh, he gets a little bit of contact between Warnecki and Nudie. Now those two, the 72 and the 40, they're not racing for positions here, but they are racing each other for the lucky dog. If the yellow flag was to come out, whoever the lucky dog is would get back onto the lead lap. As they're going at it, Cody, you are in the right chat. You're on YouTube, and we can see you, and I can see everything you're saying there. Great battle here, though, between Brian Nudie. Brian Nudie has gotten around Warnecki and taken away that lucky dog position. Up front, Puccino trying to catch, or trying to pull away from Colin Williams. Williams now starting to make a little bit of ground up on Buccino. Colton Kinsey's starting to fall off. And right between them there we see the 47 of TJ Floyd. He's a couple laps down. He's trying to get back on to 1 lap down. But I believe he's on fresher tires, so you should see him just go blowing by here. Battle here between Isaiah Gill, James Moore, and Logan Hagerman. As Hagerman's going to jump down to the bottom side, get around that 61. He's right on the back bumper of Isaiah Gill. Here comes the 09 of Michael White as well. Michael White is a lap down, so he's just trying to get himself drive back up through the lead lap. Actually, Michael White's a couple laps down, as Brian Nudie is still in the lucky dog position. And Nudie's out there just kind of praying for a caution right now, as Hagerman's moved himself up already into the 3rd position, and don't look now because he's flying. He is by far one of the fastest trucks on track. The leaders are running 32.2s, 32.1s, and Hagerman's running 31.4s, so he's about a half a second faster than your leaders, and I'll tell you what, he is coming quickly. Colin Williams, though, starting to catch Buccino here. You see that light blue and white truck behind Williams. That's the 7 of Logan Hagerman. You can see how much ground he's made up and how fast he's coming. He's like a shark stalking his prey right now. As Hagerman underneath the 18 of Williams. He might get a 2-for-1 here off this corner. Down the front stretch, Logan Hagerman battling Devin Buccino for the lead. And on the bottom side, he's able to make that truck stick on the fresher tires. Hagerman takes over the lead on lap 64. Look at Brian Nudie back here. Brian Nudie, he's a lap down, but he's trying to get his lap back the hard way. Again, you see the 40 with the fresher tires there. Just the difference that speed makes. As Logan Hagerman now starting to pull away. Already out to about a second lead on Buccino. Buccino and Colin Williams, though, battling hard back here for the 2nd spot. Again, Every point matters. Every playoff point matters. So these guys are going to do everything they can, try to get maximum points that they can. And it looks like Collins able to get into the corner just a little bit better than Devin is, but Buccino able to pull off the corner a little bit better as Buccino throws a little bit of a block down the little defensive move off the corner there. Trying to keep that thing low so Willems can't get down underneath him. Willems, though, to the high side now. Now they're side by side, and I think Buccino's coming into pit here, which he is. That's going to move Willems up into the second position. Which makes me wonder. These guys are going in to take their tires now. We also see a bunch of cars coming pit road. Devin Buccino, Colt Kinsey, James Morris, Simon Seguin. If the yellow was to come out, do these guys up front here have an extra set of tires? I believe Colin Willems does. But does Logan Hagerman have an extra set of tires? As Logan is kind of just checking out now. He's got Nudie just got to ride him back here. Nudie is, again, your lucky dog. A little bit of loose there, sounded like for Nudie. He had to get out of gas just a little bit. He's trying to get around Hagerman now to get that lap back the hard way. It looks like he's going to. So that's going to put Alan Warnecki as your lucky dog if Nudie can get around Hagerman here. Now these two are starting to catch a little bit of lap traffic. We see TJ Floyd up there a little bit of ways, and he was on fresh tires earlier, but it looks like he burned them off trying to get back on the lead lap. As Nudie makes an aggressive move to get around Hagerman here to get back onto the lead lap. Further back though, Merle Jr., Mike Rentz, and at the lap down vehicle of Eddie Morris here. Rentz still has that damage from earlier in the race, but it doesn't look like it's slowing him down too much. As they're catching, these guys are catching Greg Froelich right in front. Froelich also in the playoffs. Cody Moore says, do it for Grandma, as we're working lap 71 here of 97. The last thing Hagerman wants to see right now is a yellow flag, because I believe, if we take a look at our pit strategy, Hagerman should be able to make it to the end here of this fuel run. We saw a couple other drivers have to go in and make pit stops as they're working the lap traffic of TJ Floyd. Still another battle back here. This is for the 8th position and 7th position between Froelich and Mike Rentz Jr. Let's go now. We see Colin Willems under attack from Isaiah Gill. Isaiah's reeled in Willems. And it looks like that's Derek Chaput underneath on fresh tires, trying to get around everybody here. But Colin, it looks like Colin does not have the long run speed that some of these other drivers do. Isaiah Gill and Blake Hensley were really showing their long run speed earlier in the race. And now it looks like they're showing it again as Colin is struggling here on this long run. Oh, yellow is out. Let's see exactly what brought that out here. See if we can find. You know, when you're having a bad night, it just seems like it's going to get worse and worse and worse. We're going to see here the '09 of Brandon White and Dustin Dean. They make contact. Dean hard into the wall here, and a lot of damage for Michael White. Or sorry, that's the '09 of Michael White. Comes right down in front of Hensley. Hensley gets around it. Tough break. Tough night for Dustin tonight. It's Colin Willems, Logan Hagerman. Everybody hits pit road here. Now here's what I want to see. Who has tires? What's Logan have left for tires here? We see right side's going on the truck. Is the left side's going to pop up here? They are, so he had 4 fresh tires in the pits. Isaiah Gill with tires. Colin with tires. Now is anybody going to gamble and just take 2? You know, Hagerman was taking 4. We saw that. Great battle off pit. Colin Willems is going to beat Isaiah Gill off of pit lane. Brandon White rolling off. Michael Lawrence. Greg Frodick. Mike Retz Jr. and Brian Nudie. Brian Nudie raced his way onto the lead lap, and also Alan Warnecki getting the lucky dog this time. That's going to put him back on the lead lap as well. So when we go back green flag racing, we're going to have just under 20 laps to go. And I see a few more people are joining our race tonight, whether you're watching on Twitch, on YouTube, on Facebook, or if you're watching on the Roku or on Fire TV, on eRacing TV. We thank you for sticking around as we're going to have a 20 lap shootout here for our first playoff race of the season in the iOS Truck Series here. It looks like everybody came in and got tires, so nobody's trying to nobody's really going to be on an advantage, or nobody's trying to take a gamble here. Yes, Cody, we're on Facebook too. All the bots are on Facebook, so you know. So Hagerman, going to be your leader, and you see all these trucks in front. There's all a bunch of lap down trucks trying to get a wave around here, trying to get at least a lap back. You know, Joe Wright, Dave Wright, they're a couple laps down. As they come across, we'll take a look at the ticker as it comes around here. TJ Floyd 1 lap down, Chapu 1 lap down, Merle, Joe Wright. So these guys are in front of the leaders now. They're just 1 lap down. So they were currently 2 laps down. Once they get this wave around here, they'll be back down to 1. And then they'll all be racing for the lucky dog. So, which is an advantage for them as well, because they got those fresh tires sitting in the pits because they didn't pit this time by. Cody Moore says, got to go with Willems here. You know, Willems has showed the short run speed, where Hagerman, Isaiah Gill, Blake Hensley, they've showed the long run speed. So we'll have to see exactly who's got what here at the end. As the lights on the pace car are off, we're going to re-rack them. Get ready to go back green flag racing here. And all those cars that were just in front of the leader, all those truck cars, as Joe would call them, are making their way around the track back to the tail end of the field as they got their lap back through the wave around. Chelsea Reed says, "Go, Colin, go." As the pace car is getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit lane. Green flag back in the air. Logan Hagerman with a great jump here. But Colin Willems back to the inside as they go side by side into turn 1 and 2. Colin Willems going to take the lead away from Logan Hagerman. Here comes Isaiah Gill, also underneath Hagerman. Going to take that position away. Cody Moore says, "Careful, Gill." I agree, he didn't spin the tires. He got a good restart here, but these four cars right now are battling it out. See the field come through turns 1 and 2. Colin Willems still with that lead, and he sees Isaiah Gill and Hagerman trying to battle side by side. Here comes Hensley down to the inside. He's going to have to tuck back in behind Isaiah Gill. And that's the best thing that Colin Willems is hoping for right now is these trucks behind him start getting side by side too wide. Because if they get too wide behind him, that's going to make them race, and that's going to slow them down, and he's going to be able to pull away. Don't look now, Brian Nudie back on the lead lap, up into the 7th position. He might be a player in this when it's all said and done. TJ Floyd, you see at the bottom of the screen, is on pit road. Kevin Brandow says, "Here we go, Colin, 20 to go, buddy. You got him, man." Colin's just looking in that mirror, seeing that 7 truck right behind him. Does Hagerman have anything for him? Does Isaiah Gill have anything? Isaiah's had the long run speed all night tonight. We'll have to see if he's able to be a player here at the end. See Blake Hensley now starting to fall back a little bit. Brian Nudie, aggressive move back here on Brandon White to move into that 5th position. And looks like he's going to go for Blake Hensley now too, working that bottom side. Nudie looks like he's on a mission, as he's going to clear Hensley here through turns 3 and 4, and he's going to set his eyes on Isaiah Gill. Oh, here comes Hensley though. Move back to the inside, little crossover. Is Hensley going to have the position going through on the inside through here? And we've seen that high side really be the preferred line. We'll see if Nudie gets the run off the corner, which looks like he's going to, and he's going to clear Hensley here. Hagerman all over the back bumper of Willems here as we're coming to 13 laps to go. Can Hagerman do anything, or can Colin Willems hold on? The last thing Colin wants to see right now is a yellow. Oh, Hagerman a little loose off the corner there. He's giving it everything he's got, trying to catch that 18 machine. With Isaiah Gill starting to come on now. Isaiah's turning on the pressure, and the leaders running pretty much identical times here. As Colin Willems ran a 31:14, Logan ran a 31:12, Isaiah Gill ran a 30:05. So these guys have, before the last lap before that, it was a 12, a 12, and a 14. So these guys are pretty much matching each other lap for lap here, which is impressive because all 3 of them are running totally different lines around the corner. And Brian Newty just burned up his stuff too much, as you see Isaiah Gill all over the back bumper of Hagerman, trying to make something happen, trying to get around him, trying to get up to that back bumper of Willems. While they were battling, Willems was able to get a little bit of a lead, pull away just a little bit. Gill doing everything he can. Now he's underneath Hagerman. He's got that position going into turns 1 and 2. Is he going to be able to make the bottom side stick? And as they run side by side, that's exactly what Colin wanted to see. Those two run side by side. That's going to allow Colin to pull away just a little bit. And you see it now. Colin Willems starting to pull away because of these two rattling side by side. Neither one of them wants to give it up, as we got just 9 laps to go here at Charlotte. While these guys are racing side by side, as they're going around the 5 truck of David Wright, it's allowed Brian Newty to catch within a second. Newty is reeling him in. I don't know if he's going to have enough time. But if a late race yellow was to come out here, it could change the whole complexion of this race. As we see Isaiah Gill and Hagerman still running after each other here. Colin Willems now out to about a half-second lead on these two. So just that little bit of racing those guys are doing side by side allowed Willems to get a little bit of breathing room here. Here comes Isaiah Gill back, trying to work that bottom side, but man, Hagerman's able to drive it in so much deeper. But Isaiah Gill's able to get back to the gas so much earlier, and you see that. As now they're again side by side through the quad oval with just 7 laps to go. And again, Colin Willems is loving this right now, seeing those two side by side in his mirror. It's going to allow them, they're going to have to slow down just to keep off each other. Look at Newty and Hensley back here. Do a little drafting together. What you normally see at Daytona or Talladega, these guys are doing at Charlotte here to get themselves back up there. And these guys are catching Isaiah and Hagerman fast. Colin Willems now with just over a second lead now. As Colin had a little connection issue again, but he's back. And as those two are back side by side, here comes Newty into the picture. And Hensley. Is Hensley now to the inside of Newty? He used Newty to draft himself all the way up to this group, and now he's going to try to get around Newty here. And he's going to give a big push to Isaiah Gill down the backstretch here. What's Newty going to do? Is he going to stay up there with Hagerman, or is... oh, some contact! Newty in the wall! He's able to hold on to it. Hensley, though, a little bit of contact as well. They all keep going. Now Hensley set his sights on Logan Hagerman, trying to get underneath him here. And this is exactly, again, what Colin Willems wants to see. I don't know how much damage Newty's got, but man, that truck just, oh yeah. Right side of that truck is pummeled. Fortunately, he's in rough shape. He's just hoping he's going to be able to limp this home to a 5th place finish, get some good points here. Now Blake Hensley still battling here. Side by side. While that's going on, that's going to let Isaiah Gill kind of pull away again. Can Isaiah run down Colin? Large lead right now is almost a 2-second lead, so I don't think Isaiah's going to be able to get Willems unless a yellow comes out. Right behind him, we see the 6 of Brett Merle. He is a lap down. As he sees these two battling side by side for the 2nd position. Popsicle sticks are in the air. We got 2 laps to go. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Hagerman? Or is it going to be Isaiah Gill? Or is it going to be Blake Hensley here for the 2nd position? Well, looks like Isaiah's got quite the lead on these two, but looks like the 6 is going to give a big push to the 31, trying to push that 31 past the 7. Oh, he gets him real loose. Contact and got him loose into the corner. Again, the drafting, the bump drafting you normally see in a place like Talladega or Daytona here at Charlotte. White flag, Colin Williams with a comfortable lead on Isaiah Gill. Right now, it's a battle for the podium spot. Is Blake Hensley now, but through turns 3 and 4, Colin Williams on cruise control is going to take the win and advance to the next round of the playoffs. Isaiah Gill comes across the line in second. Blake Hensley is going to get that third position from Logan Hagerman. He's going to come on fourth and fifth place. Round out your top 5. Brian Nudie, after being caught back in that first wreck, couple laps down, gets his way back up into the top 5. A great point save for Nudie. Great point save for Hagerman, too. Blake Hensley, all of our playoff drivers, our top 5, we're all playoff drivers. And the bot squad is going wild right now for Colin Williams taking home the win tonight. He's going to burn it down right here on the front stretch. See if we can dial up our third place finisher tonight, Blake Hensley. Blake, you got Josh in the booth. You got me? Blake, you got Josh in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, great job tonight coming home in third. You and Isaiah really seem to have the long run speed. And I think that that finish there being a short run kind of hurt you two there at the end. Is that true? Is that what you're doing? Able to conserve the tires at the beginning?
Yeah, for sure. Early on in the run, I was really backing the corners up really hard, and leaders would get out pretty good lead on me, and I would just come right up on them like it was nothing. Before the first caution, or I think it was the second caution, I was about to take first. A couple more laps that I had it, but you know, unfortunately the iOS caution had to fall.
For sure. And was that your strategy coming into the race tonight? Was to save tires from the beginning and be there at the end, or did your strategy change as the race went on?
That and run the high line. I learned a lot last night in the cup race. You know, I needed my cup race to count last night, and unfortunately had a lot of bad luck last night. So I wasn't able to put up the finish I had last night, but I was going to redeem myself tonight, and fortunately I did. So
Yeah, you and Colin both redeemed yourself tonight after a tough night last night in the Cup Series. But anybody you'd like to thank tonight? Any shout outs you have?
absolutely, Brett Merle. I wouldn't have been able to get around Logan without him. You know, we were talking in Discord. I was begging him, pleading him, give me a little shove down the backstretch. That's all I needed to get around him. And there in the last lap, uh, I was able to send it in pretty hard. Still had enough tire left to send it in on the bottom and get pretty even with Logan. And Brett shoved me down the backstretch and was able to make the pass in the final corners. So big thanks to Brett. Big thanks to Ski, of course, for keeping me fueled during the race.
Awesome, man. And I saw you and Brian Nudie also doing a little bit of bump draft in there to get back up to Hagerman and Gill. So not something you normally see at Charlotte, the bump draft, but you guys are making it work tonight.
Yeah, originally the plan I had in mind was to help Nudie as much as I could. I know he's a playoff driver, so I was going to try to push him for as many points as I could. And on those last few closing laps, I don't know if I had more tire than he did or what happened, but got him to him a little bit and put him in the wall somewhat. And yeah, I mean, a lot of plans changed the last few laps. unfortunately, but still was able to salvage something pretty good out of it.
Well, awesome job finishing third tonight. And I know you're not in the playoffs. I thought you were a playoff driver, but I know you're in the playoffs in the Cup Series. So hopefully next week, Auto Club, you can bring this momentum from the Truck Series to the Cup car in the Auto Club Speedway and get yourself a good point stay there to move on to the next round.
Yeah, hopefully so. I just wish we ran trucks before we ran Cup because I'd be able to do the role reversal, learn from the trucks, and apply it in the Cup Series. But we'll take what we get and go with it,
Awesome. Well, congratulations again. We'll talk to you soon.
man.
And then we got our second place finisher tonight, Isaiah Gill. Isaiah, you got Josh in the booth. You got me?
Yeah.
Man, great job tonight coming home in the second position. I'm going to ask you the same thing I just asked Blake. It seemed like at the beginning of the run, you guys kind of fell off of Buccino and Willems, and then as the run went on, your late run speed was so much better than everybody else's. Was that the strategy coming into the race, keeping the tires on the truck for the long run?
Actually, no. My strategy was, always burn them off and see what I can do. I just bought the track, so it was 20 minutes of practice, and it was a pretty good race. Long run speed was definitely there for sure.
Awesome, and you made a couple good restarts there to keep yourself up front. Not having to worry about that tonight was a big plus for you as well, huh?
Oh yeah, for sure. I was definitely scared of tire spin because I punched in one restart and almost went Atlanta Part 2, and seemed to save it.
Yeah, because Atlanta and Charlotte are very similarly shaped. I figure you would have, kind of thought about that and known about that. But glad you were able to save it on that restart where you spun them. But anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah, I like to thank my team, TJ Floyd, for not being behind me and spinning me out like he did at Atlanta. But we're not going to talk about that. I also like to thank Vicky Smith, and yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. I know Blake gave you a big shout out too as well. I don't know if you heard that, for giving him that big push earlier in the race. And yeah, he was glad to race with you as cleanly as he did, and for you to come home in second.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to him too. He's been getting fast lately. I don't know where it's coming from, but I need to learn a little something.
Awesome. Great job tonight, man. And we'll catch you soon. And lastly, tonight, your winner, Colin Willems. Colin, you got Josh in the booth. You got me?
Hey Josh, how are you?
Hey, man, great win tonight. Complete role reversal from last night where you had all the tough luck. Tonight, all the luck went your way. And you showed some great speed on the short run. We weren't sure what was going to happen there, but when that late race caution came out, is that what you thought about? You had the better short run speed than the other guys?
I knew 20 to 25 laps was where I was fast. Anything after that, I was tapering off, and everyone else is running me down. So when we got that caution, that gave us 20 or 25 to go. I felt pretty good about it.
Yeah, and then last night you had quite the rough night. I know a lot of these guys were able to run the whole race and learn a little bit about that high side. Was that a concern for you a little bit, not having the experience that those guys had last night?
I still gained that same experience running that outside. Last night was just a mix of bad luck and bad strategy on my part, but luckily I learned from what happened last night, was able to apply it tonight, and thankfully put me in a position to get a win.
Awesome, man. And I saw the bot squad was out in full effect tonight. Of course, I know you've got a long list of people you'd like to thank tonight.
Absolutely. Well, thank the Bod Squad, Brian Nudie especially. We'll thank Cassie, Nick, Cora. I think I saw Kevin on there tonight, which was cool. Hey, Kevin. And anyone else I may have missed. Thanks a lot.
You had Sheldon Gurin as well.
Aaron was out there. What's up, Garen?
So yeah, you got the. It looks like you're really investing in those bots now and getting some people more in here. So good to see that. And yeah, Thomas Reed as well, and Kevin Brando. We're also out there rooting for you tonight. So
What's up?
so again, congratulations on the win, and that's gonna move you right into the next round of the playoffs. So you don't have to worry about California too much. So I'm sure that's a big relief off your back for next week.
I'll see how it goes after I download it. But yeah, no, it feels good. Well, without the pressure going into that race.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations. I'm sure we'll talk to you soon, as California is another track where that high line is going to come into effect for sure, and you seem to have that working tonight for you. So we'll see how you do next week.
Appreciate it, Josh. Have a good night.
You as well. Well, there you have it. Colin Willems turns his luck around from last night. Ends up winning tonight. Isaiah Gill, Blake Hensley, Logan Hagerman, Ryan Nudie making out your top 5. Brandon White, Alan Warnecki coming back onto the lead lap. Greg Froenig, Devin Buccino. Buccino having a tough run there, coming home in 9th. And Michael Lawrence rounding out your top 10. Take a look at the bottom of the field. We just want to say thank you again for coming out and watching here on Intensity Broadcasting. My name's Josh Hall. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. Like us on and follow us on Twitter as well, Intensity Broad 1. And yes, we will be bringing back the podcast this week with Easter last week and the Cup race being rain delayed the week before. We didn't get a chance to record that podcast, but we will definitely be getting one out for you this week. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget Double Dirt Thursdays. And we will be broadcasting the Original Rebels Racing League on Friday night. Special event for that. We're catching a race for them. So be sure to tune in for that as well. And of course, Original Rebels Truck Series on Sunday night. I'll be with Joe for the call on that one. So again, thank you very much for all this Intensity Broadcasting. Over